What's up, YouTube? It is Mr. Charlie Black coming at you with another video. This one is going to be touching a question number 3 from the same message. It was, let's see, now that Obama is our 44th president-elect, of course, what or who do you think he will have the hardest time with? Let me explain. During primaries, he was called not black enough. Then he was nominated, and you would see the media interview the black poverty neighborhoods, and they would say he will address the black man's issues. First part of the question, what is the black man issues? Do you think that it is the Bill Cosby issues, that the rights that were gained during civil rights have been abused by the next generations, i.e. single parents not living up to the potentials that they have been given, etc., or is it something else? Black man's issues. I think that they're similar to a lot of minority issues out there in this sense. Access to education. Not handing out welfare. Not handing out social programs that everybody abuses, because it's interesting when you think welfare, you think black. But not many people look at subsidies and think welfare and then think white. They look at subsidies, okay, you're farming, you're doing this, and this is what your reward is for that, being overpaid for certain amounts of things that you produce. They don't look at bankruptcy when it's rewarded, obviously. Look at the $700 billion bailout. They don't look at that as welfare. They just look at welfare being the minorities that collect checks every day. And that to me is crucial. So the black man's issue is having access to education. To be able to provide a service to your community, to be able to know that at the end of the day I could go to a soup kitchen and work 30 hours a week, staff it there, work with people that I can influence and change for the greater good, and still afford my higher education so I could become something greater, is really, really crucial. And I like that. If you put in public service, whether it be the military or whether it be, Salvation Army, you can actually go out and afford your education. Not only will this give you some sense of pride because you're protecting your country and you know what America's about, it's going to take people that may not have crossed paths in the first place and put them in that place where they have crossed paths, where they can get by, where they can come together and realize that we're not really that much different. I may come from a middle class household, or an upper class household or a lower class household, and I could go and I could run across those lines and meet with people that I've never thought that I would be able to interact with before, and they can influence you for the greater good. I think that would bring so many people together in ways that you would never have thought before, and I think that that's crucial. So that's one of the black people's issues is education. Also healthcare. We know who can afford healthcare. We know that when you have a lot of minimum wage jobs in these predominantly black concentrated areas, they're not going to get by. There's a reason that welfare is there. It's not just being used effectively, in my opinion. You can't get paid $8 an hour at Wendy's and expect to pay $1,000 a month rent. That's all of your paycheck just to get by. When it comes to healthcare, I also like the preventative aspect of that. Going out and giving people the methods necessary to prevent themselves from going through all these issues that they go through. If a person is a minority, which we are one of the most high uninsured people, along with Latinos, if they could go out to the doctor and visit them when they have a pain, or when they know that there might be something wrong with them that is actually not normal, that's something that they just can't get over, they may be able to stop themselves in those tracks, so that it doesn't get worse, so that they don't exhaust the emergency room when they have a certain type of cancer or illness that they have to deal with right at that point. Preventative measure. It will influence people to take better care of themselves and know exactly what they are and feel comfortable going to the doctor. So I think a lot of minorities, specifically black and Latino, don't. And it's something that's just built generational. A lot of, I think, going back to the other part of the question, single parents have not lived up to the potentials. But is that most? I'm not going to say that. Is that all? I'm definitely not going to say that. There are a lot of single parents out there who work hard. One of my best friends, her mother has raised 2 children successfully. This woman is amazing, hands down. does what she needs to do and plays no games. And she's played by the rules. She has a job she's been at for 20 plus years. She's taken care of those kids, made sure that they've had food, made sure they had education in good schools. She's worked damn hard to get to where she is. And to see her kids a product of that really inspires me. But then you have others who make babies, not money. And then they exhaust the system. If people know that free money is sitting there, they're going to take advantage of it. But when you know that you have to put in work for it, so that when you're taking unemployment, you have to look for a job. When you're taking welfare, the intent is not to give you supplemental income for your child so you can sit on your ass and take care of your deadbeat ass baby's daddy who should be out there working. Your intent is to function and to look for a job and to have regulation and to have more social service members who are going out there and making sure that this is being enforced. Part 2 of the question, favoritism in the black community. You know, Obama is black and he's white. And he has family from all over. We've heard the story again. I'm not going to repeat it because it gets so boring. He's not going to be a president for blacks. He is a black president of the United States of America. He's going to enforce policy that affects everyone. And I don't think that that's going to know a color. I think that it's going to be for the betterment of everyone around us. He has everyone's ideas in mind. And that's why I felt so influenced to vote for him. Was because, yes, he's good for, because he knows civil rights and he studied it, he's practiced law, he's trying to help people in conditions that we would consider deplorable. But not only that, he has everyone's best intentions at hand. And he's willing to listen and to see where you're coming from in order to improve the circumstances. And I don't think we've had that in a while, and I think it's important to have that now. So I don't think he's going to be, partial to black people. He's going to do a lot of events speaking out to black people in black colleges and everywhere else. But at the end of the day, he's the president of the United States of America, and black people will adjust to that. And this whole thing about black people feeling vindicated because for the first time you have a black president will quickly learn that you are no better than any other race walking the face of this earth because he's been elected. And they will learn to interact just as people that they live, across town from, as equals. And will have no more excuses for not putting in hard work because you know what the outcome may be. Let's see here. I think that Obama will definitely focus on minorities and focus on getting them into society, not through welfare, but to have a check and a balance, to put that work through, or to influence, the legislature, to influence government, statewide and federal, to put through legislation to get people out there to build these social programs out there for these children, these recreational activities for these children. I definitely think that you're going to see a surge in those. I definitely think that you're going to have a lot of more nonprofits out there, maybe not the first year, maybe the second and third or fourth year, and, if God grants them, another term, then you'll see those thereafter. But I definitely think that when this economy starts settling again, becoming normal again, you will definitely see a surge in people out there that are going out to volunteer and to help and to get involved. And you will definitely see a weight lifted off of a lot of people's shoulders. And I touched on this a little bit in one of my other videos, but to know that as a black person living in the United States of America, you don't have limits. To know that this is maybe the first black president, but it's not the last. And you will be able to get there. Also, if you put in hard work, if you do what you need to do, if you feel determined. And that's what I have to say. I know other people have other opinions, so I'd love to hear from you. Go ahead and leave me those comments. Stay tuned. I'll be posting more videos, so just stay put.